VA. Jazz, of course, is one of our for about 4 or 5 months with Impact Assistance and, of course, rave reviews that we've seen from your client. So thought it'd just be beneficial to quickly ask you a few questions about that success and just about background, quick info. Jazz Assistant, she jumped on with the systems that we use. So all this, Jazz, I think will be very helpful to somebody watching. So first and foremost, just off the top, I mean, experience with Impact Assistance been?
Yeah, sure. Well, I really love being a VA, and the experience being an impact, virtual assistant has been really, really very great, and I enjoyed it so far. And in a nutshell, I would have like a list of tasks. The app that we're using, it's Asana. It's really very helpful. It lists all of the things that going to be like an ongoing task. So like the Asana also has that feature in which you just have to, put a tag on it if it's like urgent, priority, or an ongoing one. So I have those lists, and I personally do have my personal, like a notebook in which I can kind of have the data and then check on it at the end of the day as well, and see what are the tasks that needs to have a follow up the following day.
Okay, fantastic. So in essence, your experience as a VA, I mean, it sounds like you went right into the task management software that we use with Impact Assistance. You mentioned Asana, and of course, as anyone watching might know, that is the software that Impact Systems use. So let's maybe dive into some of the software. So tell us just quickly. I mean, how does Asana fit to creating a system where you know exactly what you need to do, and you have a place to communicate? Maybe tell us a little bit about Asana and your experience with it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so what you've mentioned, Asana is a task management app. It's where company members that should be in it are in there. So like the client and the VA, that way they share that app, and then the client just would list all the new tasks or what are the tasks that he would want to, the VA to accomplish at the end of the day, or if it's an ongoing task, you just have to check it off, and then the client would also see it on his end if it's completed or if it's ongoing, and then the VA would have that, ability as well through the app to make some, comments and questions. So it's really, really a very helpful app.
The software and the systems, because again, with Impact Assistance, as when you came on and trained, it was very important to have the systems in place up front, working on the systems, and that way the future makes it a little easier to work. So I know we have an operations manual, and we require all our VAs to have one of those. Can you tell us just the process about, how did you set that up, and how useful is it, and just for those that aren't informed, an operations manual is a listing. It's basically a weekly, so saying, hey, every Monday complete this task, and it step by steps tells exactly how to do each task, all the way down to stuff that maybe happens once a year, sending a big invoice, on January 14th every year, and
Right.
and you can stepwise and know exactly what to do. So just quickly tell us about setting that operations manual up and what that process is like, and how that helps.
Yeah, the operation manual is really a system. It's really a very helpful system for virtual assistants. That way, the virtual assistant would have like a big picture of things, even the very mundane tasks, the day-to-day tasks are also in there. That way, the virtual assistant would have, aside from the checklist that's on Asana, she or he would be also reminded of the tasks and the ongoing tasks, the weekly tasks, what you've mentioned, that needs to be completed. So it's really a very helpful one. It's a system that's in place that the virtual assistant can just jump on it and be able to be effective and efficient with that operations manual in place.
Great. So you think that's something important right away, that any pairing of a virtual assistant and a client should, I guess that's the first thing that, well, and you tell me your experience.
Exactly.
That with Asana, well, great. And of course, we also require weekly meetings. So we try to sit down and talk about each task and the updates of them, and that kind of thing. How is that? How is that helpful as a VA to be able to?
Helpful to be able to sit down and talk with the client. That way, the communication is ongoing, and then it would clarify via chat. And then if there are any feedbacks or any urgent things that needs to be tackled, it would automatically be addressed so that later on everything will just be smooth. So it would really be very, very helpful to have an ongoing FaceTime.
Different time zones. We have plenty of clients, in different time zones. Client needs you.
Collaborate with your client and ask what time he would be available, and just set it up. If you have like your own calendar, if you have like a shared calendar with your client as well, you set it up on his end, on your end. That way you both get notified. And also, please check on the time zones. I know it would mess up sometimes, like with the different time zones in the U.S., like Eastern Standard, Pacific Standard. So you just want to make sure to be on top of those.
Okay.
And then just be on time, and just show up and be on time, even 30 minutes ahead.
All of our VAs that we bring on, the testing process that we go through, of course. So we find very high quality VAs. And with those though, I mean, if you could give to that you would progress.
Yes, the key to success is always communication. When I say communication, you just have to have an ongoing communication, to be on time, when the client expects you to be on time, and to be efficient, and, to have a desire to grow, the willingness, as well as, being open to change. Sometimes clients would give you feedbacks that might not sound that good, but just accept it. That way you would learn more and more.
Okay, great. And so tell us too, like, what kind of tasks does your client have you doing? What kind of things typically do you do, and have you done as a VA?
Yep, email and schedule management tasks.
And you see a lot of our clients at first, they'll wonder, they'll say, I don't know if I have enough stuff that, how when you have a very proficient VA, how easy it is to start giving them more of the load of stuff. So does that happen quite a bit when you have, a new client, or when you get it and they think, well, I don't want to give everything, and then pretty soon, you have more? I mean, is that pretty typical that you hear they don't have a lot to do, and then
Yeah, that's really, really true. I really hear that a lot, and then eventually they would tell me, "Oh, I didn't realize I can actually hand over this task." So the fact is, working with VAs has gone far further than most people ever thought possible.
That's great. Well, and of course my laptop's lagging a little bit, so for those watching, sorry about that. I'm a little low on battery. But to finish that up, what advice might you give to a VA? Say, if I were a VA asking and say, hey, how can I be successful? I'm starting tomorrow, and in the first week, what can I do? What systems can I set up and to be the most successful for my client?
Okay. Well, for a VA that's just starting up, it would be very helpful for you to meet a friend who's been a VA for like a couple of years now. That way you have like a first-hand of idea what are the essential things that she needs to do, what are the tools that are important, especially that right now everything is just online. So you have to know all the tools that are important, and like Google Docs, and mention kind of the first thing that all VA should know. So I would say be able to get on a call with a friend that's been a VA for a while, and just
have them there. And I just plugged my laptop in. That was that, to make sure I didn't lose you. So and I guess just a follow-up question to that: how helpful has it been with the Impact Assistant Network and having other VAs to kind of fall back on and talk? You need advice on, say how to set up a Skype number or do research and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really a very, very helpful community, and how all the VAs are helpful, collaborating, just sharing ideas, sharing information, sharing resources. So I think that really helps a lot. So I love in here, and I'm seeing myself, working in here in the next.
Well, Jazz, we really appreciate you taking a moment to, give us some of your thoughts and your experiences, and can see a face of what a real VA looks like, and a real one that works as well as you do, and all of our VAs at Impact Assistance. So I can't thank you enough. And Jazz, I'm sure we'll be in touch.